All right. Welcome back to Conscientious Offenders. My name is James Perez. Hitting you back after a long hiatus. I know it's been quite some time since I've been recording. But truth is, life happens, man. And I'm happy to be back. All right. But I'm back for a reason, and I hope to stick around much longer this time around. I really want to talk about things that are annoying the hell out of me. It's not a day that goes by I don't see a story that just pisses me the fuck off. So, since I'm pissed, I want to piss off the people who are pissing me off. And hopefully this voice, this platform, gets me to the point where I can really shake some things up. All right? So, let's go. I do not understand the world sometimes, especially when it comes to like social dynamics amongst different cultures. And one thing that I just want to make clear here, I don't punch down. All right, so if I'm talking about a particular culture for whatever reason, I'm having my opinion about it. I'm not bringing that up to punch down on that specific culture or to say that culture's 100% wrong, like they shouldn't exist or whatever, anything like that. I'm just talking about specific dynamics that are involved with said culture, right? So what I'm going to talk about now is something that happens predominantly in the Muslim world. And not to say that it only happens in the Muslim world, but it's an act that happens a lot in that culture. If you know of other cultures that do the same thing as much as they do, I'll Google it later. And I'll talk about their asses too, right? So what I'm getting at is child marriage. I don't get it. I don't get child marriage, man. I do not understand why a 55-year-old would want to marry like a 7-year-old or some weird shit like that. But listen, I'm not the most knowledgeable of this topic, so I have a quick video, less than 5 minutes I want to play, and then we can discuss after that, okay?
Meanwhile, the Taliban nightmare continues for girls in Afghanistan. According to this report, the Taliban is attempting to force divorced child brides to return to their adult former husbands despite the girls having been granted divorce by the Afghan government. It is titled Divorced Afghan Child Brides Forced to Return to Former Husbands Under Taliban Rule. It cites a BBC report which basically talks about how a child bride won the right to divorce, and now the Taliban say it doesn't count. Basically, the BBC followed the case of one Bibi Nazdana. It has reported that the Taliban is invalidating divorces granted by the Afghan court, forcing divorced child brides to return to their former husbands, their previous marital status, basically. Let's just take a step back here. This is about the future of Afghan girls, the future of an entire generation. Remember what Afghanistan-based Tolo News reported earlier this year? United Nations agencies have said that the restrictions imposed by the Taliban on women and girls will increase the number of child marriages among Afghan girls by 25%. 25%. UN Women, the International Organization for Migration, and the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan have released a joint two-page brief. And in the brief, the UN agencies have basically highlighted the issues faced by Afghan women and their demands of the international community. As per the two-page brief, the continuation of restrictions by the Taliban on women and girls will impact child marriages by an increase of 25%, increase early childbearing by 45%, increase the risk of maternal mortality by 50%. According to the brief, currently 82% of Afghan women consider their mental health to be bad. It further noted that Afghanistan is the only country in the world that bans girls from studying in schools beyond the 6th class. What is this life? How can women and young girls be subjected to such enormous restrictions at so many levels? It is heartbreaking. It makes me angry. In the year 2021 itself, a UNICEF statement noted how girls are increasingly at risk of child marriage in Afghanistan, noting how the extremely dire economic situation in the country is pushing more families deeper into poverty and forcing them to make desperate choices, like putting children to work and marrying girls off at a young age. You see, just to put this simply, child marriage robs girls of their childhood. It has detrimental impact on their health and economic prospects. It has harmful effects on girls' development, access to education, overall quality of life. As per the UNICEF, girls who marry before 18 are more likely to experience domestic violence and less likely to remain in school. It is often closely linked to early childbearing with an increased risk of complications during pregnancy and childbirth. It also noted that the decision on child marriage is often taken by male family members with the expectation that girls conform to the norm. Giving girls and women in Afghanistan their basic freedoms and rights is the need of the hour. The future of girls, an entire generation, the future of a country, its women, is at stake after all. And the world cannot just simply stand by and watch. To stay up to speed with the latest news.
All right. So as you can see, there's a problem in Afghanistan with child marriage. And I guess what I really want to talk to, you already heard the stats, whatnot from young lady. What the hell is wrong with the men there? This is what I really want to talk about. How weak must you be to subjugate women the way you are? How pathetic must you be to want to marry children? You're sick in the head, man. Like, I just don't understand how a nation, how these men, how the Taliban could consider themselves men, warriors, or anything when they subject women, and especially young girls, to that type of treatment. You're pathetic. You're disgusting. You know what I'm saying? You're the filth in this world. You bring absolutely nothing to the table in regards to humanity. Subjugating women to this. And you know what? I'm not just going to talk about the Taliban or whatnot, or any other culture that allows this type of thing to exist, because America, we on the same bullshit. We still got certain states that allow that wild shit. Let's see here. Child marriage in America. What's that? First, United States child marriage problem. Nearly 300,000 minors under the age of 18 were legally married in the U.S. between 2000 and 2018. Yeah, so you know what? I'm going to talk about America too. It don't make no sense. You a grown-ass man. You want to marry a child? You pathetic. You're weak. You're a pussy. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing manly about you. All right? You're just as bad as all the incels out there. All the little, the men are so lonely. Man, get the fuck, go outside and say hello to somebody. It's pathetic. And this is why a utopia can never exist. Because there's always going to be that weirdo that doesn't like the fact that they can't, they can't muster the strength to say hello to somebody. Their personality sucks so bad, there's nothing interesting about them. So they hate the world. And they want to take it out on the world. Or take it out on women. I can't stand men, period, that complain about women all day. That red pill bullshit, I can't stand it. I can't stand it amongst my brothers when I'm talking to them and they just want to, beat down women and talk shit about, like, bro, you're a piece of shit. All right? Everything that you think women have done to men, men have done to women 100 times worse. This is a man's world, people. It's a man's world. And it will always be a man's world. Men will always be the dominant sex on this earth. And whatever, perceived rights, powers that the women's sex have on this earth, it's because men allow it. It's no conspiracy. Women couldn't vote. They couldn't get a mortgage. They couldn't get a credit card without their husband. They couldn't vote, period, for not that long ago. They couldn't get a credit card not that long ago. Get a mortgage not that long ago. What are you talking about? What, the 60s, 70s and shit? So it's like, bro, yeah, we allowed them to have more agency. And now that they have it, you want to be mad. You want to be big mad. Bruh. So let's see here. Marriage age accounting for exceptions. Okay, United States. Okay, as of June 2024, 13 states have banned underage marriages with no exception. Oh my God. The vast majority of child marriages, reliable sources vary between 78% and 95%, were between a minor girl and an adult man. In many cases, minors in the U.S. may be married when they are under the age of sexual consent, which varies from 16 to 18 depending on the state. Historically, child marriage has been a culturally acceptable practice, but today it is increasingly viewed as a form of child sexual abuse, because it is. It's freaking child abuse. And if you with that shit, you are a child abuser. You are a molester. You are lowest of the low. You are a piece of shit. Okay? Straight up and down. No ifs, ands, or buts. I can't stand you weak ass men around the world. You're pathetic. You're pathetic. It just pisses me off to the umpteenth. Like, I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine subjecting somebody to that type of trauma. We all got our flaws. We all got our issues. But that is just sick. It's sick in the head. And you're not proving nothing other than you're just a weak individual. You have no game. You have no, there's nothing, you don't bring shit to the table at all. When you die, you'll be forgotten and absolutely no one will remember you. A year gone, it won't even take a year. You're gone. Because if you're with that shit, you ain't about shit. You don't have nothing positive. You didn't bring shit to the world. People who are doing that type of thing, believe me, they have nothing to show. They have nothing to show. And it's unfortunate that so many women and young girls have to be subjected to that type of treatment, and hopefully they can make find a way out. I just don't. I'm trying to understand, like, what's the fear? Like, with all that red pill shit, all the whiny ass men out there, especially in American culture, all you whiny ass men. If you're sitting there whining about women getting power, whining about, us potentially having a female president, whining and moaning and bitching, oh, women can't be in the Secret Service and blah, 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 blah. It's like, yo, you're pathetic, bro. Because half of you dudes won't put on a uniform. Half of you assholes won't pick up a gun and defend your country. I mean, I don't really see that as a huge flex, but in the scheme of the things, that whole, proud to be an American, all that bullshit, that patriotic you ain't about that life. You're a pussy. And if the lights went out for 2 weeks, you wouldn't survive. You'd be the first one on the chopping block. Believe me. A lot of you motherfuckers wouldn't survive. A lot of you manly men, a lot of you alphas out there in the world, you wouldn't survive a week. Let the lights go off for 2 weeks. The electric grid done. Half of you are on the chopping block. It doesn't matter how many muscles you got, how much money you had, how much influence you think you've had, celebrity, whatever you put on none of that shit's gonna matter, because when that next person next to you needs to eat, or your neighbor of 30 years need that what you got, they're gonna get that. So you better be prepared, but you're not. You're not. And the only reason why you guys are allowed to do the dumb shit that you do is because this is a man's world. It's the only reason why this child marriage shit exists. Because it's a man's world. You guys forget that shit because you're too pussy. You forget that shit. You're too pathetic. You bring nothing to the table. You have no honor. I just can't stand that dudes that just complain. I can't stand this child marriage thing. I think the Taliban or any other culture or anyone who does this act, a grown-ass man marrying a child, now there's no real place for you in society at all. At all. As far as like lines being drawn, that's a definite line for me. You know what I'm saying? The human race, bro. We have the potential to do some really, real great things. I mean, we could have been at Mars a long time ago if we had our heads out our ass. We could have been out there exploring shit by now. But, we got other issues, corporatism, greed, capitalism, just fucking ruining the world. It is what it is. But the answers are there. The truth is there. And it's like, it's just bewildering to me. But I really needed to get that off of my chest, man, because I just cannot stand the thought of these young girls being subjected to abuse and rape and all of these things because they just were so unfortunate to be born into that society. And like I said, we're doing the same fucking thing here in America. We got this damn abortion, Roe versus Wade being overruled. It's like, bro, leave people the fuck alone. Mind your damn business. It has nothing to do with you. What they choose to do with their, with their bodies. What women choose to do with their bodies, man. Sorry, you can't control everything. All right? I mean, you're so pathetic. You bring absolutely nothing to the table, so all you can do is take away from other people. You bring nothing, and that's all you do is take away. You're pathetic. You're pathetic, bro. All right? You're a whip. You're a pussy. Use the one who gets your ass whooped every time. You're a clown. No one cares about you. You will never be remembered. Even no matter no matter how much money you make, no matter where you may fall on the celebrity line or in politics, you could go as far as the president. Trump, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about him after he dies. After he loses in November, gonna be barely a footnote. You know what that footnote's gonna say? Here's the time America allowed a dumbass to become president. Here's what happened as a result of this dumbass becoming a president. And because of this dumbass man, a woman became a president for the first time. This dumbass white man. Yeah, white guy. Yeah. I'm gonna get on y'all racist, you idiots too. It's like, why? It's 2024, guys. Don't you have something new to do? Don't you have anything fresh? It's just too hard for you to, just be a normal person. My freedoms. I should have the freedom to be racist and da da da. Oh, who's that jackass? Matt Walsh came out with a movie talking about, am I racist? Yep. If you have to ask, yep. Anyone who has to ask, yes, you are. Am I fat? Yep. Do I look fat in this? Yes, you do. Am I racist? Yes. You're a piece of shit. Yeah. Okay? And they know it. And that's the funny thing about it. That's what makes it so sinister. They know they're pieces of shit. They know they were always the last ones to be picked, in dodgeball. And they will forever be that. And that's the thing about, the human race and, about life. Unfortunately, there will always be a yin and a yang, right? You're always going to have those who are upright, stand up, and you're always going to have those pathetic weaklings who are, pieces of shit. And unfortunately, they too get into power from time to time. Or they get a grift. They figure out a way to appeal to enough weirdos, to get some money in their pocket and to get a platform. And I'm here to shit in their fucking Cheerios. That's why I exist. Okay? So I'm gonna do my damnness to continue being a voice for the marginalized, for the ones being punched down. The only people that I'm going to be punching are the ones that are up there and the ones who always feel like they gotta punch down on others. I want to punch down on you. So if I'm punching down on assholes, pieces of shit, just vile humans who are too stupid to realize that once they expire, no one is going to give two shits about who they were or what they believed in. So get your money now, get it now, and I hope it lasts. Because when you become an old person, oh man, it's kind of like how I wish all those racists from back in the day could see what's about to happen this November. And what happened, back when Obama got elected. Even though I don't really care about it, but it's just the fact that it happened and it really pissed off racists. I love it. So, come on people, let's figure out more ways to piss off these pathetic, small-brained individuals. Let's think of more ways to get under their skin and to make them realize that their way is the wrong way, and the world is just slowly but steadily drifting away from their idiocy. Okay? Let's keep that energy going, folks. Alright, I want to say thank you guys for watching. conscientious offenders, and that's what we're doing. We are offending these pieces of shit. Let's get it, all right? Let's continue on. Thanks for watching again. Peace.